Hey, this is Emily again here from the Transition and Support Program here at Southern Adventist University. We have with us another awesome student. His name is Michael, who is going to be sharing about his experience now with autism for Autism Acceptance Month. And I hope that you guys really enjoy what he has to say. So thanks so much, Michael, for coming today to our interview. Um, Before we begin, why don't you just tell everybody about yourself, where you're from, what your major, how old you are, things like
Yeah.
that.
All right. Hello, everybody. The name is Michael Griffin. I was born in New York City. Born on June 6, 2003. Lived there for about 5 years. Moved to New Jersey for about a year and a half, and then I moved to Tennessee in around 2009, and I've been living here ever since. My current major for Southern is 3D animation. I'm taking more of the general classes right now, so I can focus more on the animation classes near the end,
Mhm.
so I can specifically do good with that. Um, Um, so little fun facts you know about me. I'm 6'4". I love playing basketball, badminton, and ping pong. Uh,
Nice.
and and yeah, one of my personal hopes and dreams for the future is to essentially find a job that involves animation and like just get a nice house and have secured income.
Nice. I can definitely attest that Michael is indeed a tall guy. He has been very tall
Yeah.
when we've had different activities. I am only 4'11", so he is my personal ladder to reach the tall things. So that's
I know
great.
it's all good. My auntie, but she's shorter than you. Don't tell her I said that though.
Oh, she really? Oh, that's funny. Well, that's cool. I am definitely looking forward to your graduating and seeing your work someday out there in the animation world. I love
Totally.
I love animation films, even though I'm an old woman.
No, it's okay. Animation is not for you. That's one of the things that I generally hate when it comes to the public reaction toward it.
Mhm.
Like it's not for kids. It's a defining genre that can be
Right.
pretty much used for any medium.
That's true. Very true. Well, awesome. Well, so I guess the first question that we have for the audience is everybody would like to know a little bit more about what it's been like for you growing up with autism. So,
All right. Well, truth be told, the story it's definitely complicated for what it seems.
mm,
It's pretty hard. So this all started around, I believe, when I was two.
mhm.
Like at first, one of the issues that I had was that my tongue was actually glued to the top of the mouth,
Oh,
so I wasn't actually able to speak for a long time. So
mm,
I forgot the part, but they had like cut the specific spot underneath my tongue so I could be able to speak again.
mhm.
And then growing up as a young kid, I generally had trouble connecting with people and like just genuinely communicating and just a problem. Like when I moved to elementary school, there was actually this program. Like it wasn't therapy, but essentially for kids to actually help
Mhm.
with speaking and then like gain in touch with the common person, you could
Right.
say. And it was generally pretty good. Although it was definitely helpful. It was more about fun activities for what it was,
Yeah.
but it was still generally really nice time. But then but then before I move on to middle school, I should mention that in the second grade at Spalding, like I was generally not control my behaviors because of that, and I kind of did something to kid. Like I put my hands around his neck, because we're playing a game of basketball, and I was just really upset. Like, and mind you, he had surgery on his neck, so
Oh, wow.
I kind of hurt that. Like I was generally in control back then, and I still regret that ever since. Luckily, I met up with the guy again a few years later, and all that's been worked out. But yeah, but then when I moved to middle school, they actually have like a sort of a more proper speech therapy kind of program. Like
Mhm.
that's where I actually learned about idioms and just like understanding and more understanding of how people worked.
Right.
Like also, and mind you, around this time, I genuinely still didn't have a whole lot of friends. So,
Mhm.
I did talk with a few people here and there, it was, but it wasn't much fun. And one especially major thing that happened was that there was this kid. His name was Will Beard. Like he kept constantly bullying me, and like I just didn't know how to defend myself. Like
Yeah.
I was, mind you, I was way taller than he was. But yeah,
So you
like
didn't
I was just
general to pick on somebody his own size, eh?
exactly, yeah. I was just genuinely insecure
Mm.
about that. And I was just pretty scared during that whole time. But let me tell you, high school, that's pretty much for my life. That's when the most changes happen.
Mm.
Freshman year, it was definitely kind of rough. Same situation, the same kid was there. However, one cool detail was that a lot of kids generally did not like him because of not a nice character that he had. So, and again, this like just same boat, like just had a trouble talking and communicating, and it was just generally like just infuriating on my part.
Right.
Then we move on to sophomore year. Luckily, the guy like he didn't come back. He was kicked out. But yeah,
Really?
yeah, but it was so worse. Like just having trouble communicate, like not understanding behavioral patterns, and
Hmm.
like I was pretty much alone at lunch most of the times. And I
Mm.
just and if I'm being personally honest, I still remember that day. I was legit actually going to leave college. Yo, mom actually made plans. We were actually going to move back to New Jersey because I just couldn't do it anymore. I was just genuinely tired of being lonely. And truth be told, like more than any, I understand that people want to be lonely, they want to have their space. But I was essentially getting receiving too much of that I was genuinely getting tired of that. This one awesome kid came up to me. His name was Elijah Moose. He invited me to his house for an NFL draft.
Mm.
Granted, I'm not much of a football person, but that specific one moment
Mhm.
was a huge turning move, part of my life. And then, not to mention, we found this other speech therapy class outside of my high school, which is even better than the one middle school. Like it actually got me talking more. And junior and senior year, I was actually be able to become like actually be able to just communicate more with people.
Mm.
It's really pretty nice. And also at the same time, I talk to doctors more. Like it's clear I'm still on the autism spectrum, but I'm essentially like a bit more advanced. Like wait, like I'm able to communicate, like understand thoughts, but I'm still not perfect. I still have mess up stuff here and there.
Right.
But yeah. So then
You
then
had
on to now. Like
whole history there. Yeah.
yeah. Then I moved to Southern. Like
Mhm.
I joined DSS, like another awesome program that I learned about. Met a bunch of legit, really awesome people to talk about, and being personally honest about this, that I actually legit understand how people like think, communicate, and
Mm.
just pretty much how everyone operates. Like the world that we basically live in, like it's totally corrupt and definitely, definitely not what I imagined. But I just personally feel like I just want to make the most of the life that I have.
That's excellent. That's all we can do, right?
Pretty much.
Good. Well, that's quite the story. Thanks so much for sharing with me. So sounds like when you were really little, you really kind of struggled, kind of learning how to deal with some of those frustrations. Sounds like and communicating your needs with other people, and that led to
Exactly.
outburst. Some
Pretty
unfortunate
much.
situations, but um, you're a child. You're still learning and growing things.
Yeah.
And then you were able to find some good resources for yourself as you got a little older, improved your speaking ability and communication skills, and then you found a friend. That's excellent. Which that sounds like it really helped to um, give you that sense of confidence again and communicate with other people.
Yeah.
And now you are who you are today. And we just love Michael. He's an excellent student and good friend to all the guys. So we're happy that you're in our program and that you've made the progress that you've made as well. Um, People are lucky to get to know Michael. so,
Yeah.
so you kind of answered my second question, and that had to do with, have you ever experienced bullying and things because of your disability? But it sounds like you have, unfortunately, experienced some of those things.
I actually didn't know you were gonna go that route, but I guess it's a good thing I said in advance.
Yeah. So, what were some things that you feel like you had to do or adjust during those experiences for yourself? Did you?
I feel like the one thing I definitely had to adjust was essentially control my behaviors and
Whoops. Looks like we lost him. All right, we got Michael back here again. We had got disconnected. That's all right. So we were talking about like some things that you had to learn to kind of adjust, or things that you had to do to kind of help you with the bullying situation. So go ahead and pick it up where we left off.
All right, yeah. So one of the things that I had to learn definitely was change my behavioral patterns and essentially learn a lot more about life as it is. Like I had to
Mm,
get in touch with my emotions so that they don't control over me, and like just pretty much understand how people operate. And another thing that I definitely learned is that people are just not gonna like you for no reason. But that doesn't mean that doesn't mean you did anything wrong. That's just how people are, honestly. And truth be told, I've generally been trying to have a nice character throughout my life. Although I definitely done my fair share of mistakes. But if there's one thing I definitely learned is that is that you don't always have to be happy. It's okay to express how you genuinely feel. Like
mhm,
just everyone just has their problems. Like life isn't perfect, and that's personally fine. Like just everyone is just trying to feel like just get through life how it is, especially in any circumstances.
mhm,
Another thing that I was especially like trying to learn was that essentially be more confident in myself, in the person that I am.
mhm.
Um, like the kind that can like push towards goals and pretty much be able just to do anything that you want to accomplish. That process was definitely hard, and I'm still learning more as we go on.
Well, it sounds like you've gone through quite the growing journey the last several years. Um, after
But
experience.
I still like to be me though in the long run.
You're still you, but
Yeah,
that's excellent. I like what you said about learning to just accept yourself for who you are and learning to be comfortable with all of the emotions, not just being happy all the time. Just being able to communicate like, hey, I didn't like what you did there, or I'm not feeling very good about this. And just being able to
exactly. Yeah,
ride with it and just work through it, and without exploding, at other people, just learning to work through that.
exactly. And
So,
also, and before we go on to the next topic, the one thing that I've definitely learned is that success won't always make you happy in life. It's from
mhm,
just connecting with people, like essentially, but with a bonding experience. Like seeing with life, like for my personal, like yes, being successful, like I mean that's really that just makes you feel good about yourself. But I feel like when it comes to like just having memories and experience, like I feel like that's what makes life worth living.
mm. So to you, it's all about those connections and making lasting memories more than
Exactly.
you know the
That's
money.
that's another thing I personally strive for the future is just finding the right kind of people that understand me.
Right. And that's really important. A lot of times with people on the spectrum, is it can be difficult to find informed, meaningful connections with other people. And from research that I shared with my last interview, with Ruben, it really isn't so much that autistic people can't communicate. It's just that there's sometimes a deficit with how other people who aren't autistic understand us. And so it's almost like a unique culture difference, as if we speak a different language than other people. But often
Exactly. Yeah.
with on the spectrum can find that sense of connection with other autistic people, because we don't feel like we have to put on a mask with them, and they just seem to get us a little bit more. And I think the more time you practice with even other autistic people, the more comfortable you are with other people as well. So
That is very true. Yeah. I have seen autistic people that pretty can talk like that. Then I've seen some that pretty much can't get to this level.
yeah, yeah, it is such a unique spectrum and how it affects every person, isn't it?
Yeah.
So
and also like also one little funny story about me. Like
mhm.
back in 2006, I remember there's this thing called the Nintendo DS. Like I remember personally really wanting that because it's super cool playing games on the go before iPhones like had mobile games. But
Mhm.
then my dad, he was insistent on getting the personal Wii. I didn't think it was cool at the time, but the reason why, but like just like a few years ago, I learned about this. But the reason why he got me that was because like it would essentially help with my eye coordination, which is generally improved a lot. Like
Yeah.
ever since. So I can thank that system for that as a side note.
That is an interesting phenomenon. I've seen that as well, and other children with autism. That playing video games has helped really improve their motor skills a little bit more, and the reflexes. So yeah,
Yeah.
I know when I tried to play video games, that's definitely never been my strength, and I just get so stressed out because everything's going so fast and it's like, ah, we're gonna die. So I
Exactly.
can
Yeah.
see how it would be really, it can be helpful for people as well. So,
Yeah. We all have our pros and cons in different ways.
right, we do, don't we? Well, I guess the last question I have here wrapping up is if there's one thing that you wish other people knew about autism, what do you think it would be?
Definitely a few things.
Okay.
Definitely a few things I would say. Autism is not a disability. It's just a different ability.
Hmm.
And honestly, like, and this is for autism people, and just generally, just just for people in general. Not everyone can become like a successful person, but a successful person can come from anywhere
Yeah,
and from anybody.
that's excellent.
Like I generally mean it. Like, also, I've actually written a story
Mhm.
that I hope someday would go into animation for autistic people. And I'm just gonna stand by you guys. Like,
Yeah.
just I know, guys, you'll understand just how to operate and just personally strive for life. That's what I personally know you guys can do, and I personally put that hope in it for you guys.
That's excellent. I love that advice. I think I might steal that if I can. I love that phrase about
No, no, totally. You know, Emily honestly told me I'm not trying to make like a copyright for it. Just send it to anybody.
I had a friend that used to always say, "There's no copyright to the truth." So
Yeah,
it's
this like I have trust me, I have some phrases that are Big Mike exclusive. All rights reserved.
all rights reserved. That's fine.
Yes,
Well,
ma'am.
thanks so much, Michael, for sharing with us about your experience. I really enjoyed hearing a little bit more about your life and your thoughts about things. I think you have a lot of potential in life, and you're gonna go far. You're gonna keep learning with life along the way, and just ride those waves with all those ups and downs that it brings. So
Yes, especially with the cool surfboard. Don't forget that
there
part.
you go. Yes, maybe we can
Yes,
pick that up. Not many waves in Tennessee, but we're pretty close to Georgia or Florida, So.
exactly.
Alrighty. Well, we'll talk to you later. And thanks so much, Les, for watching. If you're interested in the TSP program here at Southern, you can check out our website at southern.edu and the TSP program, or you can get in contact with me as well. So I hope you guys have a great day. Bye.
All right, bye.